Hello, Anson Garcia with Verizon, and today we're going to take a look at Cisco Webex Teams versus Microsoft Teams in some common tasks. I'm calling this part one because hopefully I come back with a few more parts, picking out some other features that we can look at. So what are we doing today? What I'm going to do is attempt to, in Cisco Webex Teams and Microsoft Teams, do a natural progression message, reply to a message, share a file, author that file or change that file, schedule a meeting, have a meeting about that file and maybe make some changes, things like that. And then we're going to do the same thing in the other products. So we'll do the same thing basically in both products. And again, this is just a simple use case so you can look at the differences, what features are available in both products. And I want to start out with this real quick. I have a natural tendency, as I think a lot of people do, that, if I compare two products, the product with more features is better. That's not necessarily true, and I want to make sure that I'm not doing any bashing on each product, not to stay neutral on anything or anything like that. I do have my favoritism based on the work I do. I can tell which one would help me out the most. But we have to be careful on looking at something, and I have to be careful looking at something and say, this is more feature rich, therefore it obviously will be best for all my customers. No, that's not the case. If you look at Microsoft Office 365 and Google's G Suite, it's very obvious that they're two different products. They kind of do the same thing. They have back office applications and things like that, but they're two different clientele. One is more for enterprise, right? There's a lot of knobs and switches and security gadgetry that we can fine tune in Microsoft Office 365. Not so much in Google G Suite. So there are some differences. Again, more features doesn't make it better. It just makes it more complex and more ability to fine tune. Doesn't mean you need it. If you don't need that, the other product is better for you. Okay, the objective I'm trying to convey to you is to give you some insight and experience with both of these products with some common tasks so you can discuss them with your customer and you can understand how each of them works, help you understand each manufacturer's concentrations. In other words, both of them are going not to the same goal. I could argue that they're going different places, and you'll see that bear out as we do the demos and go through this user use case. Help you guide your customers around Teams messaging and collaboration and UC. So I kind of delineating between Teams messaging and collaboration and UC. Okay, so that's an important distinction. UC meaning calling, things like that, and in team messaging and collaboration, that's collaborative team messaging, sharing files, things like that. So, most importantly, no matter the team's SaaS provider you're partnering with, you want to be the champion of the customer, right? I believe in the long run that's going to create a long term trust with your customer. In the long run, the long term sales partnership with your customer, those sales are going to come to you. Okay, sometimes it's hard if we don't have something in our portfolio or we're getting better credits or we have a better relationship with one manufacturer or the other. It's hard to go investigate and get all the facts from the other vendor and then be able to discuss those facts truthfully. I see a lot of people their tendency is just to be blinded by the other manufacturer, whatever manufacturer they don't sell or they don't like or don't have a good partnership with. They rather just set it aside and just have a one-track mind. It's important to establish relationships with your customers. As a service provider, we owe that to a customer. And in my belief, again, long-term sales will come to you because they're going to trust you to tell them the truth. They may even at the end of the day find one product a little bit better than the other, but that other product may not be in your portfolio and they may choose to buy from you even though they're missing a few key features, but they're going to buy from you because you're honest and they'd rather deal with someone honest because that honesty will go throughout the life of that contract. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, let's look at what we're going to go through. We're going to take a look at user experience from a team messaging standpoint and replying. So we're going to send some messages back and forth, easy stuff. We're going to schedule a meeting to follow up on these messages that this use case is going through, and then we're going to file share. So something prior to a meeting, we're going to collaborate on a file, things like that before our meeting. Then we're going to join a meeting, and we're going to join a meeting in two different ways. We're going to join a meeting on the desktop, and we're going to join a meeting using a room system. Okay, and then we're going to record that meeting. So we're going to see what that experience is like, different on both platforms, and what features we have available to us after the recording. And then we're going to go into kind of a knowledge worker kind of guy or gal, and we're going to look at some integration. So what about if we want to take meeting notes and we want to bring in OneNote, Microsoft OneNote? Obviously, one is going to be better than the other. Bringing in something like Microsoft OneNote, obviously Microsoft Teams is going to be better than on that. Then we're going to bring in like a planner, a Trello. So maybe we have project manager or something that needs or the project team needs to the control the tasks that are divvied out within this team. So we'll bring that integration as well in, and then we'll do a Twitter feed. So this kind of use case also is kind of like trying to put a marketing, what would marketing want to see, maybe a Twitter feed or something for their particular product, and make sure they stay tuned in what their customers are saying. And then we're going to switch gears again and then go to what an IT pro. And there's so much IT pros can do in both of these products, but I just picked one, something simple that you could kind of get a feel of both admin interfaces and what needs to be done in the admin interface to do something simple like a retention policy. So we'll just say we got to keep, our retention policy for Teams messaging is 3 years. Let's just say that, or 7 years. And we'll go with that and we'll take a look at what that looks like. So let's get started. Okay, here are the users that we have. So we're going to have on Microsoft Teams side right here, we're going to have two users, Anson and Lynn. Okay, I want to give the experience from not only the full desktop app, but from the web app as well. So Anson's going to have the desktop client and Lynn Garcia will have the web client. And on the Cisco Teams side, we're also going to have an Anson Garcia, a different Anson, and we're going to have a Jessica Kasdan. Jessica's going to be with the Webex or the web app client, and Anson will be the desktop client again. So that's kind of the users that I'm going to be dealing with there. And just to give you a little layout here, I'm going to show you these are all virtual desktops, and I'm going to be dealing with these four right here. Okay, you can see the first two are going to be Microsoft Teams. All right, I know I have Skype for Business there, but these two are going to be Microsoft Teams. So there's the web client. You saw the full client a second ago. Here's Webex Teams. These two are the Webex Teams ones, and there's the full client, and there's the web client. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, first thing we're going to do is just a simple team messaging and reply. Okay, I'm going to be working inside a team, inside a channel with Microsoft Teams here at this Verizon UCAS channel. So we'll highlight that, and I'm just going to say something here. Okay, we'll do something like that, and then we're going to go over to Lynn. Remember, Lynn is using the web version. She gets a little toast right here on the edge of her browser. I guess it wouldn't be called a toast, but some in-browser toast. And let's see. There it is right there. And I can go ahead and reply to that. So I have this threaded conversation inside So I can reply, and I can reply one of several ways. I can say, yeah, maybe I want to reply with a thumbs up. I can do that as well. And maybe I want to reply with a Giphy. Let's look for yes. Okay, we'll give a silly little yes there. Okay, and what else do I have? I have some stickers as well. I can do that. Now these are just kind of silly things. Let's just say yes, please, right there. Okay, so there are the ways that I can reply. Let's switch over to Webex now and see that same simple chat message there. We're going to go over to Anson, and I try to make these the same. So we're in the marketing team. So we have a team over here, marketing team, and a Verizon UCAS channel. I have the same thing over here. A team, US marketing team, and then we have a Verizon UCAS space. All right, so we'll go ahead and I'll say the same thing here. And let's go over to Jessica, and what can she reply with? Let's see, she's on her web app. Okay. Okay, it looks like she can write a message and say, yes. Let's just say that. Now, she doesn't have any Giphies or stickers or anything like that that she can do, or thumbs up. And just so you know, if she was running the full version, the full desktop client, she would have some definite, thumbs up here. She could do some Giphies and things like that. And no stickers available, but these are quite good. So just letting you know the differences there. The web app on the Cisco side is not feature parity as far as the text that you can give. And then also, let's just go back to Anson here. I just wanted to mention one more thing on Lynn. Pretty full featured. I have to say that the web client in the Microsoft Teams, if they've done a pretty good job. You can also, within here, the actual message itself, Lynn can go ahead and give it a thumbs up, so she can do that as well. So right there. Okay, so there's a little bit of differences there. Certainly a little bit more flexibility on the Microsoft side, and you could say simplicity on this side. Okay, let's take a look at scheduling a meeting. Let's first go to Microsoft Teams. Let me point out several different options that we have here. So we're in the Verizon UCAS channel again, and I can go right to my meetings tab right here, or my meetings button. And from there, I can schedule a meeting, this big button right here. So I can schedule a meeting. Let me bring that up for you. And let's give it a title, test meeting. Okay, the location. The location is what type of meeting it is. So Microsoft Teams meeting is all we have right there. Now, if we had rooms, equipment rooms, another topic entirely, but those would come up there. We have our start and we have all that. Now, notice we're still in the Teams application. Okay, so let me put away Outlook in the background so that doesn't mix us up. We're in the Teams application, and we can go ahead and put some text in there. We even have a scheduling assistant here, just like we do in Outlook. Okay, let's add somebody. Let's select the channel. We want to meet in the UCAS channel, and that was in the marketing team. There we go. Okay, and then we need to invite somebody. Now this kind of threw me off, but if I meet in a channel, I would assume that I was going to invite everybody that's part of the channel. That's not what happens here, so I still have to invite. So let me invite Lynn, because I know she's part of the channel and I want to invite her. But and I'll explain a little bit more about that in a minute. And here we go. Right as soon as I invite somebody, I have this scheduling assistant right here. So it brings in the scheduling assistant that we're familiar with. If you use that in Outlook, it brings it kind of into Microsoft Teams. So they have this application now that's kind of abstracting everything below that you're using. All right. One being the first we're looking at here is Outlook. That's it. We can just start our or schedule our meeting. Okay. Now that's going to come up in our meetings. If we go to our meeting tab again, that's gonna pop up in there in our timeline here, and then this is the meeting details and things like that. Let me show you something else we could have done. So let's just put away Microsoft Teams. Let's bring up on the same. We're still dealing with Anson, who has Microsoft Teams. He's using the full client. He's also using Outlook. If you look right here, we have a Teams meeting button. So there's a little add-in to Outlook where we can do the same thing. So we can create a Teams meeting. You can see in the calendar that Teams meeting is there, so you know it's using the Outlook and Exchange Online Office 365 stuff in the background. Let me go ahead and just punch this button so we can see what's available to us in the Outlook full client. And there we go. So what it's doing is grabbing information to put down in the body here. There it is. And then I can do the same thing here, maybe to, Lynn again, and the subject and the location again. So I can, and then maybe I want to use my scheduling assistant here because I'm more familiar with it, whatever. So those are the two options that kind of exist here. Kind of nice because you can both do it in Outlook and not disrupt the workflow people are used to. Maybe they're used to going to Outlook, so you have that plug-in, and then you have it inside, so your eyeballs stay inside Teams only. So we have that option as well. Okay, put that away. I'm going to bring this back up. The one thing that again threw me off here was the scheduling the meeting and inviting people. I was thinking that it would invite everybody in that team or in that channel, but it does not do that. What it does do, if we go back to the channel, let's go back to Teams, we'll go in that channel, and you can see there's a meeting that was scheduled by Anson. All right, and everybody that's part of that team, let's go look at Lynn, and you can see down here, there's a meeting that's scheduled. So Microsoft's take on this is everyone's going to get, it's like someone posting something in the channel. You'll get an indicator as we got here. See, it's bold. We got an indicator that something happened in the channel. And then everyone in the channel, part of this team, part of this channel, can go in and say, I probably want to be part of that meeting. And then they can click this meeting. And then if they're not part of the meeting, they can, in fact, let me show you that. Let me show you that. Let's go back. Hopefully this works. And we'll go click on that. We're going to edit the meeting details. And let's take out Lynn. Okay, you can see the attendees is the channel itself. So like the channel is an entity in itself. Okay, let's update that. So now we've taken out Lynn. Okay, now let's go back to Lynn. Hopefully this updates pretty quick. We're gonna click on that. And we're going to, yeah, I was afraid of that. it's not gonna update quick enough. So I'm gonna pause the video, let it update, and then show you here in a second. Okay, we're back. It's been about 10 seconds or so, and what I did is I refreshed the browser. Remember, Lynn is using a browser. So now let's click on the meeting. And now you can see it looks a little bit different. We have this option right here, add to calendar. So if she's not part of the channel, she can, or excuse me, she wasn't part of the original invite, she still sees it in the channel. And when she clicks on it, she can add it to her calendar. So we'll click add, and that'll add it to Lynn's Outlook calendar now. And now she's going to be invited to that meeting. She'll get the reminders and things like that that come with Outlook. Okay, if we go look at her Outlook calendar here, She's all online, so Lynn is using online versions here, and you can see that there's the meeting right there. And I'll go ahead and let you take a look at that. And this is what we get. Okay, so that's the scheduling a meeting experience in Microsoft Teams. Okay, I wanted to add to the scheduling a meeting video just a bit. I just wanted to add a couple of things, and those things, pay no attention to this right here. I've kind of went back to shoot this video because I want to give you a flavor of the other concepts that Microsoft brings in into this environment. So one of which you can, let's say Lynn. So Lynn replies, maybe she wants to add a proposed agenda. So let's go ahead and we hit reply, and let's go ahead and pull up our format button. That kind of gives us a little, like, maybe WordPad or something like that, and a couple of other features up in here. So let's say, nice, here is the proposed agenda. Okay, and now let's say she says, new ideas, new proposals. Oh, excuse me, proposals. Let's do icebreaker. All right. Okay, now she can do that, and then she has some very word-like features in here. So let's say she does that, or just puts a bulleted items there. So she can add this proposal thing there, okay? And then that's it. She adds that. Now, as part of this, we're still in the same, let me pull this up a little bit better. We're still within the same meeting. Okay, that's what I want you to see here. If we go look at Anson, see, we're still within the same meeting. The context here, it's like a threaded conversation inside the meeting. In addition to that, maybe Anson had some research that he's been doing. He wants to put in this meeting as well. So he can reply here, and he can attach another file. Um, let's say we're going to browse our OneDrive. Okay, and I think I have a research document. There it is, a Word document right there. So he can say, okay, something like that. So you kind of get this. Let me bring that up full screen. You see here, we're within this thread here. So everything inside a meeting is kind of kept inside the meeting. So I just wanted to throw that out there and add to the scheduling, just so you kind of get a feel of where Microsoft is using all these workloads in the background to kind of add to the feature set of Microsoft Teams. Okay, let's take a look at Webex Teams and what the scheduling experience is here. Now I have Webex Teams up. We are in the US marketing team in the Verizon UCaaS space. And one of the things I want you to look at here, I have Outlook in the background, and I want you to see that unlike Microsoft Teams, there is no plug-in. Okay, so there's no inside Outlook where I can just push a button and schedule a Webex Teams meeting. All right, there's not that there. Now you could argue that you could install Webex productivity tools, desktop app, but I didn't do that. We're just dealing with the Teams application, Microsoft Teams and Webex Teams. Okay, that's all we have here. So we don't have an option to do it here. Okay, so let's go back. What is the experience? If we're in this team or in this space, how do we schedule a meeting that's going to be in the space? Remember, with these Teams messaging things, we want everything in the space. Okay, what we would do is go over to the activity menu while we're in this space, and we click on meetings here. Now, meetings gives us two options up top here: space meeting information and schedule a meeting. Let me schedule a meeting first because that's what we're after, and then I'll come back and tell you what the space meeting information is. So let's schedule a meeting, and I'm just going to click that plus there. It tells me quick schedule, create a meeting using Microsoft Outlook. Okay, it knows I have Microsoft Outlook, and it's asking me, do I want to send the invite to complete scheduling in the Outlook application? Well, that's what I use. So I'll say, okay, open. What that's going to do is going to cross launch Outlook, and I don't know why it doesn't come to the front. I'm not sure. It stays in the background for some reason. But I'll go ahead and click that, and you'll see what happened here is, and let's get rid of some of the clutter here. You'll see what happened here. It cross-launched Outlook meeting invite. It added everyone that was in that space. Now there's only one person in that space, and I'll go show you. If we go look at this space and see the people in this space, it's just Anson and Jessica. So I like that. It puts everybody in the space in the invite in to field. So unlike Microsoft Teams where you had to kind of add everybody, this one does it a little bit differently. Now it puts @Spark there, and then it adds your particular meeting information right in here. Okay, so now I can use my suggested times, open times. I can use my scheduling assistant and all those wonderful full-featured things inside Outlook. Okay, so that's the kind of the point here. We go from Webex Teams, and it just throws the information over to Microsoft Outlook, and then you can schedule it here. I'll go ahead and schedule this. Let's go ahead and say send. Okay, let's go back here, and we'll take a look at Jessica in a minute, see what she sees over there. But I want to show you one thing. I can go over here. Let's go back to this meetings. Remember we had the space meeting information? What Webex Teams does in every space that you create, it creates a standing meeting. Okay, let me say that again. Every space gets a standing meeting, like a personal meeting room. You guys familiar with Webex Meeting Center? And there it is. This is the meeting link. Here's the join by video. Stays constant. It's permanent. So there's always this concept of a space having a meeting room, a WebEx meeting center room, if that drives it home there. And you have like a CMR, you have a Cisco meeting room, which is a join by video system. So you can any H323 or SIP video system can join this room, this space when you're having a meeting. Okay, so it's just a standing meeting inside the room, we can say. So it's important to understand that concept because Cisco does things a little bit differently. This is nice because it's always constant. It's always going to be, if you want to meet in a room or you record something or something like that, it's always going to be in this room. So that's nice. Okay, so let's go over to Jessica, and she gets your typical. Now remember, she's in the web, so let's see what happened over here. Well, we have some indicator happen in the space here. Okay, this is my activity menu. All right, I can go in the same way. I can go to the teams and I get that activity. Something happened inside US Marketing Team. I click there, and it's going to tell me something happened in Verizon UCAS space. I can click there. So just two different ways to get to the same place. And I see that a meeting was scheduled by Anson Garcia. Okay, so just like Microsoft Teams, we get that inside the room or channel. We can see that a meeting was scheduled. Okay, before we click there, let's go over to Outlook, and she's doing she's online here. And let's go over to, okay, and this is your typical thing, right? This is what you would get with Outlook, so you can accept. Let's just send the response now, and then we'll go look at our calendar. Okay, and here's my calendar, and there's the meeting. Let me click on that, and let's double click. Let's bring it up here, and you can see there's that meeting, that standing meeting. Okay, that URL or that URI never changes. Okay, let's go back and let's go back to Webex Teams. Now, let me just see, and I haven't done this before. Let me double click this, see if I get anything. Nope. Okay, here's my information. I get meeting information here, meeting description. There's my URL, URI, and all that stuff. And then also, I can go over to my calendar tab over here, and it's going to show that meeting, what meetings I have today. And there it is there, and I can click on that also, and I can respond with a message. It's been accepted because I accepted an Outlook. Okay, and that's it. So that's the experience of scheduling a meeting. All right, you could say, some could argue it's disjointed because you're working in two different applications, and Teams messaging, you want to stay in one application. Well, Microsoft has the one up there. You could argue also there's a business need to not disrupt workflow. People are used to going to Outlook and using scheduling assistant inside Outlook, and you don't want to disrupt that flow. And so the WebEx Teams way adheres to that. Okay, so two different ways to do the same thing, and that's it. So I just want to give you that experience from both sides. Okay, we're continuing the progression. So we've scheduled a meeting. I've moved that meeting for tomorrow, so don't let the dates fool you there. But the next thing we're going to do is share a file and collaborate on this file. So Anson Garcia, we're going to start with Microsoft Teams again. Anson Garcia, or Anson, is going to share a file. Here is the meeting that he scheduled. Now, within that meeting, I can click on that meeting here, and within that meeting, not in the body of the channel, but within that meeting that's scheduled, I have some options, so I can actually create some text and some messaging and threaded messaging within that meeting itself. So maybe some agenda items or something like that. But what I want to do is go ahead and put a file in there that we're going to co-author, or I'm going to share and we're going to edit. So I'm just going to put a reply here, and you know what? I won't put a reply. I'm just going to click on my little attachment there. I can go to recents here. I have some intelligence built in here as far as integration, so I can go to recents. I can browse teams and channels, so maybe this is a file that I've had in another channel. So I have that option there. So I'll show you each of these. In fact, let's go to recents. It has some intelligence here. It knows that this is the last file that I was dealing with or editing, so that's the one I'm going to put in here in a second. But I'll cancel that because I just want to show you all the options here. I also I can browse teams and channels. So maybe I had something in another team channel that I want to bring over to this team. So I have that as well. And it's if I'm in it's kind of hierarchy, it's SharePoint in the background. So you kind of got to think of it as there's some folder hierarchy of kind of in the background. So there is my UCAS channel that I'm in now, and I can kind of hear the files that exist in this channel. So some files that have been shared before, and then I can go up and then here are my other teams. So I can go into another team, and then there's no files in that team, so I can go back up again. Anyway, you kind of get the picture here. I can go into other teams and channels and then look at files. So that's kind of neat as well. Certainly a lot of integration with SharePoint in the background. But let's do that again and make sure there's nothing else. I can go right directly to my OneDrive. This is my business OneDrive. Okay, and I can go right to my documents. Anyway, that's the one we're going to do, but I just want to do it kind of regular here. I'm going to go here, and I'm just going to go to recents, and I'm going to go to this guy because it's intelligent enough to predict this is probably what you want to share. Yes, it is. So I'm going to throw that one up there. I'm going to upload a copy, and I'm up. I'm going to, let's see. I want to put something in here. let's say this is the PowerPoint we will edit. Put something like that, okay? Okay, so we got that in there. So let's go over to Lynn and see what she sees. Okay, she got an indicator, a little toast there that something's been posted to this channel and within this meeting thread. So this is what she's going to be editing or and she needs to look at before tomorrow's meeting. What are our options there? Let's see our options just clicking there. What happens? Okay, if we just click there, the document actually comes up and we can see the document. So, okay, this is Project X, and we can see both slides here. So again, we're within the web app in Lynn. Remember, the second user is always using the web app, and we have that viewer there. Okay, now I can edit, and this is very interesting. Again, very powerful integration into the back office workloads. I can edit in Teams. I can edit in PowerPoint, which is be my local Windows PowerPoint if I had it, and then I can edit in PowerPoint online. So let's say, for example, I'm on an iPad or something like that, and I'm staying within the Teams element here. I'm staying within the Teams app, and I just want to edit in Teams. What does that look like? So Lynn can go ahead and edit inside Teams. So what Microsoft is doing, kudos to them. You know, they're bringing the online app within the web app um, itself. So we're within a web browser, within the Teams web app, and then within the Teams web app, then we're another layer. It's like Inception here. We're in another layer, and we're actually editing with the PowerPoint. We're using PowerPoint online, but within Webex, excuse me, Microsoft Teams. So I can edit. I don't know, let's add something here. We'll add another point here. Let's say third point. Okay. And that's it. Let's just close that out. Maybe we did our editing. And so let's go over to Anson, and he can, we'll double click on that. We'll go over it. Now it just comes with a viewer, right? So maybe Lynn said, hey, she could add to that thread. Hey, I've already edited it. Take a look at it. So, and there's the third point. So, okay. And what I mean by that is she could have added right here, you know, added third point, finished, please review. Okay, something like that. Now, what if there were a few people on the team and they needed to co-author before the meeting tomorrow? That could be done too. Maybe they're on calls already, or they're not in a place they could jump on audio, but they need to co-author. Maybe one of them was working on slide one and one was working on slide two. This again shows the power of all this stuff that's within Microsoft Teams, all the Office 365 workloads. Let me show you. Let's say Lynn's going to bring that up again. She's going to double click. And let's just edit a different way just so you can see what it looks like. I'll edit in PowerPoint Online. We'll go over to Anson, and Anson's going to double click it also. And we'll do the same thing. We'll edit PowerPoint Online. Now, it doesn't matter. You're still using PowerPoint Online, whether you edit in Teams or edit in PowerPoint Online. So I just wanted to show you here. This is regular Office 365 stuff. Same with Google Suite, G Suite. We see right here, we get an indicator that someone else is editing this document as well. And we can chat with them. We can bring up all those powerful collaborative tools so we can chat and co-author this document at the same time. So let's say I can see Lynn Garcia is on the first slide here. And so I'm going to check the second slide, and I'm going to just say, I'm going to put a fourth point here. And then what I'm going to do is go over here and just take a look at that. Take a look at this, and maybe I'll add something here. I'll add 1, 2, 3. And you can see Lynn sees that Anson is editing. He's purple, see, so she sees that he's over here, so she can go ahead and add, and edit this particular slide. And there's a lot of YouTube videos on co-authoring and stuff like this, so I won't belabor this power of, co-authoring inside Office 365 that now has been pulled into Microsoft Teams. Okay, and then what we'll do there, we'll just close out of this. Everything is saved on the fly, so we'll go ahead and close that out, and then Lynn will go ahead and close that out as well. And we'll go back to Anson. We'll go to his Teams client, and we'll close that. We'll bring it up again, and just so you can see what is right here. Okay, so we can get it downloaded and all that stuff. Let's just double click. Okay, we should see our edits that both Anson and Lynn made. There's 1, 2, 3 that Lynn made, and there's the fourth point that Anson made. So again, I just wanted to give you that experience there. This is something that makes it very compelling as far as types of co-authoring inside Microsoft Teams. So that's the file sharing.
Okay, with Webex Teams, we take the more traditional route, creating the file, sharing the file, someone else picking up that file from the space, editing that file, and then uploading the file in the space again. Okay, so let's take a look at what this looks like. Here's the file here. It's already created. It's called Verizon UCaaS Space. It's a PowerPoint. And remember, we're dealing with U.S. marketing team inside the Verizon UCaaS space. So let's get Anson to upload that file. That little paperclip there, easy enough. We'll click on that file. We'll go ahead and tell Jessica and let's do that. I like that. We can mention Jessica. Slide 2. Okay, we'll have her update slide 2. Let's go over to Jessica. Now, there she gets an indicator. Remember, she's using her web app. So let's look at the experience here. She gets an indicator, something happened in the U.S. marketing team. We'll dive in there. She gets the bold on the Verizon UCaaS space. Something's happened there. And we get a nice preview of the PowerPoint there. And I can click preview and take a look at it, but I don't want to do that because Anson looks like he wants me to update slide number 2. So I need to download it here. I can't upload it. If I click preview, I get a preview here, but I can't edit here. I can download right here, and maybe I'll do that. Just download from here. Okay, we get your traditional, open, save. Let's just open from here. Now this is going to open my full version of PowerPoint. I can click Enable Editing here. Bring that up full screen. So we're using not our online client of PowerPoint. We're using our local copy on this PC. We'll go over to slide 2. And we'll say item 4 here. We'll add that. Now let me pause here real quick. If we wanted to work outside of Webex Teams to co-author a document, we could certainly do that. Now, what do I mean by that? If we were signed in or using online versions, I could certainly, over in Anson's space here, instead of pasting the file in here, I could have done something like this. Now, let me bring up Let me go to my OneDrive. There's our file right there that we just shared. It's on OneDrive. So a different approach could be that I edited this file. Okay, let's say I created this file and I wanted to share this file. Now I'm outside of Webex Teams now. I'm using Office 365, but I just want to show you that this option is here. Okay, and I could share that file with, in fact, I could just copy the link here. I could do that, copy that. All right, and then I could close that. I'm done with this. I can just close that out if I wanted to. Just a different approach. And instead of pasting the file in here, I could have just Control V there and paste a link. Okay, and I can paste that in there, and I can also, tell Jessica, okay, I could have gone this approach. All right, we're using things outside of Webex Teams. So using Office 365 or the power of Office 365 and done it outside of Webex Teams. But, what I'm trying to show here is different options. But I think we're going to go the traditional way, and I want to show you that inside of Webex Teams, we're going to work inside of there. That's more traditional. And let's go over to Jessica. She's now edited that file. And she's going to, let's see, she'll save as. She'll save in her OneDrive. Okay, let's save it right there. All right. You can have it space 4. And now we're going to close that. All right, you can see we have it there. Now she's going to go back to her online web app here. And all she needs to do is upload the file. There it is. Okay, she can put here, let's do @Anson. And there we go. Okay, and then Anson gets the indicator that that file is there. Okay. So that's kind of how things work. I'll go ahead and there's the preview again, and we can go ahead and take a look at that. We can see that item 4 is there. All right. So let's go over here. I'm going to just show you that in the files, there are the 2 files. So all the latest files will be on top. So if we do edit a file and then upload a file, that's going to come right on top. So it's not going to be confusing for folks on what file is the latest file. And you'll always get that preview, so you'll kind of see, for example, oh, this is the same file. I can visually see that too. So there's a visual cue on this is the same file, and this is the latest version here as well. So yes, there's no co-authoring or anything like that, but you can do it outside of Webex Teams if you want to. But we're dealing with inside these team messaging systems, and that's it on Webex Teams. Sharing a file, someone editing a file, and then updating that file inside the space.
Okay, let's take a look at the joining a meeting experience first in Microsoft Teams. So here's the meeting that I have scheduled here, and one of the things I immediately noticed in the meeting here is I have to really, if there's too many threads in the meeting, they kind of get collapsed. So the second thing I noticed was when I scheduled the meeting, and we scheduled a meeting in a prior segment, but I noticed that there was no, and I'll show you here, there was no place where I could set a reminder. So this meeting's coming up, but I haven't got a reminder inside my inside my Microsoft Teams. So I could always go into Outlook and, edit the meeting here, I guess, but I would really think Microsoft would have covered that one. Anyway, First over to Teams. Can we can we join the meeting here? I can double click that. That's going to give me the meeting details, and then I can join right there. I can also click these three the ellipses over here, view meeting details there, and I can certainly join right here. So one button there, and then obviously over in Outlook, if I was in Outlook, I could join the meeting there as well. And in addition to that, in my meetings tab over here, I see all my meetings for today. The next meeting is going to come up right here, which just so happens to be the only meeting I have. And I can join from there as well. And then I have some audio options that are displayed there as well. And that's displayed in the other modalities as well, Outlook, things like that. So that's how we join, and let's go ahead and see that meeting experience or join experience here. Now I can join my meeting here. It comes up and says, this is a virtual machine, so that's a virtual camera. But at this point, I could, make sure, my hair was combed, make sure I look okay, my background is okay, things like that. I could join now. Maybe I didn't want to join with video, so I could turn that video off and join now. Or maybe I wanted the video on, but I wanted to be muted, and then I can go ahead and join now. And then also I can check on my devices, make sure, is my headset is the one that I'm on here, things like that. What camera am I using? If I have multiple cameras. Or I can just join with audio off right here. So kind of one button to push, I guess. And it says join with audio off. So let's go ahead and click on that. And you can see that it joins with audio and video off. So um, you see there, so it really should say join with audio and video muted or something like that. So that's the join meeting experience from the desktop side. So let's go look at the web app that Lynn has over here. So here's Lynn, and we'll just join. Well, let's do the same way. We can see that we can join here. The meeting is going on, so I get this going on here. So that's nice. So it's kind of indicating to me. In fact, let's poke around a little bit. Let's make sure we don't get any other. Oh, that's in the activity there. Oh, I also see Anson is in a meeting at I get the red bubble right away. Let's go over to Teams, and I see that meeting has started there. Okay, let's just I'm intrigued by this myself. So let's go ahead and join the meeting over here. Let's go look at what the meeting looks like here. Okay, most likely, we may join here. We may join inside the team itself. Just so you see something different, I'll join. I'll join here. So again, this is the web app, remember, and look at this. Look how similar it is. I mean, you get really feature parity. I have to give it to Microsoft. As far as the feature parity here, it's pretty darn close. I got the same buttons there. Audio, video off, join now, check on my devices here. That looks the same. And then I can join with audio off here, and that joins again with audio and video off for some reason. Okay, let's turn video on here. Let's turn our camera on. We see our picture in picture here. And let's go over to Anson. Now Anson sees Lynn, and then Anson can go ahead and turn his camera on as well. Now he sees his picture in picture. So that an indicator of you turning your camera on is obviously your pip comes up in the lower right hand corner. So that's it. That's the join meeting experience. Now there's so many features here. I don't have time to get into all the features because Microsoft is just using a bunch of workloads in the background. For example, just one I'll show you here is we can have a conversation. So we can have a conversation that's threaded inside the channel. Okay, so maybe we're all talking. Maybe there's 10 people on the phone. Someone's in a noisy environment, or someone wants to ask a question, but somebody's in the middle of some dialogue, and they can go ahead and type a question here. Okay, we can do things like that. And let's go look over at what the Lynn sees. So what Lynn sees here, again, very full client like. I can see this purple guy over here, and I get a audio indicator as well. And then I can click on that, and I get the inline, now we have messaging going on within the meeting. Okay, so that's how the joining a meeting experience is from the Microsoft Teams clients. Okay, one more thing here. Remember we were typing some messages inside the meeting back and forth. Well, here they are, and it, they're indicated by this little camera here, so you can tell visually that there was a meeting going on, and there was some folks talking um, in that meeting. There were messaging back and forth in the meeting, so it's very clear on what's happening inside this channel, inside this meeting. Remember, this meeting is one conversation. There's just one conversation going on, and it starts. You see the line right here, and it starts right here. You can see this box. So this is one thing that went on, and that thing that went on was there was a meeting scheduled. Remember, we had some PowerPoint that we co-authored with Lynn, and Lynn just she chimed in, and then she put in a proposed agenda for the meeting, and then Anson put in some research document, and then we had the meeting, and inside the meeting, while in the meeting, then people were chatting as well, and then the meeting ended. Okay, so very good visual cues on what's going on and what workloads are taking place inside Microsoft Teams. And just quickly, I'm going to go over to Lynn. We ended the meeting. I didn't show you that. I don't think you needed to see that. Let's dismiss that. And I just want you to see the web client here. Here's the web client, and here's the meeting. Now, remember I said it collapses sometimes. So if you really want to see what happened, you got to open that meeting dialogue, that messaging dialogue within that meeting, and then here we see everything that happened, right? And then there's the meeting, and then here's the texting or the messaging going back and forth within that meeting. We still get that visual indicator right there as well. Okay, let's take a look at what our join experience looks like on an iOS device or mobile device here. I'm going to go over to, let's go over to meetings first. Okay, there's our meeting. All right, so it's right here. Pretty easy. I can go ahead and click to join there. I'll say okay. Okay, a little bit different. I don't get the, do I want to mute my audio video, but it looks like it does that for me. So there might be some default settings. This is a fresh install on on this iOS device. So it looks like we're in the meeting, and then we have the ability to go ahead and maybe unmute our video. We'll say yes to that. Fresh install again, and you're just looking at my ceiling there. Nice real estate there as far as how everything looks. I'll go ahead and mute that. And let's look at what's under these three ellipses. Looks like I can drive mode, place me on hold, call me back, share, keypad, and turn off incoming video. Maybe if you want to save some bandwidth. So that's what the experience looks like here. Let's go over to Lynn, and let's go ahead and join her in on the meeting as well. We get that join button again. Okay, we'll go ahead and join with everything off there. Okay, I can see, let's bring up the iPhone here. You can see now she's in on the meeting, so we get that visual cue here, her name. I also have my picture-in-picture, even though I don't have my video on. I'm getting to my picture-in-picture. Let me make sure. Yep. Okay, let's turn on her video, see what it looks like. Okay, we'll unmute her video. Let's go back to the iPhone. Okay, and we see we have the whole real estate there. and we can have a video conference with her as well. And let's see if we'll turn on both ways and see what she sees. All right, I'll turn on my video. We can go back to Lynn's PC, and she sees, of course, there's my hand right there. So everything appears to be looking good, and if I go ahead and put that on its side, go ahead and see me there, and we'll see what she looks like there. That's the join experience there. I'd like to show you some more. I will show you since I showed you on the other one, I showed you some texting or the messaging thing. Oh, looks like we had a bug there. Something happened there. Let me join back again. And what I wanted to do is show you what I showed you a little while ago, where we can have a conversation at the same time. Okay, so it looks like since we have less real estate here, let me go ahead and turn off video. We'll save a little bandwidth here. Okay, I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to turn off video here. I'm going to go back. So I turned off video. Again, I want to show you the conversation since I showed you that on the desktop client. And there's where we can, have a conversation while we're doing inside a meeting. Okay, again, there's so much more to show you, but I'm just keeping it to joining a meeting on the desktop in mobile here. And that's it for this section. Okay, we're back to Webex Teams, and we're going to be joining a meeting. So let's see how we do that. I already have the meeting scheduled. We have it in the US marketing team in the Verizon UCaaS space, and we can see it there. All right. I tested this meeting already. That's why you see this here, but I just reset the meeting or rescheduled the meeting or pushed the meeting forward, I should say. So hopefully that doesn't cause any conflict. Let's take a look at a couple things. Let's go over to our calendar first. And I do not see my meeting here for some reason. So I'm not sure why. Looks like we caught a bug in Microsoft. We also caught a bug in Cisco as well. However, if I click on list meetings for today, it is the 4th. We are the 4th. I have the meeting scheduled, and I'll show you here in Outlook. The meeting is scheduled at 10. Okay, so we know it's in there. And we don't see it scheduled here. However, if I go to list meetings, it's there. So looks like both these things are a little buggy still. So I can click on here and I can start the meeting. I want to show you that inside the team, inside the space, I can also click there and I can start the meeting. Since we did it in the calendar view in Microsoft Teams, let's do it the same here. Let's go over to the calendar view and we'll go ahead and click that. We'll start the meeting here. Now, we do get our video in the background there, so we could check our background. We could make sure our hair is combed and we're within the camera view and things like that. We see when the meeting starts. We have some information here we can pull up as well, and we can join the meeting. Now, down here we have some options. Here are my options where I can choose another device, so I can control starting the meeting here. But if I wanted to start the meeting on, let's say, a room system, a Cisco Webex Teams room system, I could do that here, or a Webex Teams board or Webex board. I could do that here and just kind of control things here. Maybe it's easier for me to do with a mouse. And then on the room system, the display on the wall, not going to the display on the wall, not going to the kiosk and starting it here. So I like that. That's a great feature. You have more control of where you're going to start the meetings at, or where you're going to throw the meeting on, I should say. Okay, so we can join the meeting. I do not like that we have to join video here, and we don't have the option to join with muted audio video. Okay, it's something that I have to, looks like I have to do myself. So I can mute audio, and mute video. Blue means off. All right, let's hop over to Jessica. Now, this is nice. I can see that I'm in the meeting, but Jessica's not in the meeting. Okay, so the list of people that are supposed to join the meeting will be here on the right hand side here. Let's go over to Jessica. Now, I've got Chrome up. You saw before that I was using Microsoft Edge. I try to do that. I try to use Edge and everything just to give you the same display, the same programs, the same browser. But unfortunately, I couldn't do that with WebEx Teams because it doesn't support Edge browser yet. And you can Google; they have what browsers they support so far. So, okay, let's go into again. We get this little toast right here. That's nice. We can join there, or we can go over to our calendar. Now, I just don't like this. I want to point out the differences here because it kind of irks me that the feature parity isn't there with Cisco. It should be pretty easy for Cisco to have the same layout. Okay, so we don't have the same layout. We don't have the same timeline. We have different buttons here. So I don't like that myself. I can click on that and doesn't look like I can join there, huh? Yeah, I would think I'd be able to join there. Let's click right here. Okay, looks like we can join there. That's nice. Let's close that. Okay, and now again, what I really do like is this ultrasonic, this pairing thing. There's a lot of videos, and I have some videos on that if you want to check out what WebEx Teams does as far as proximity and ultrasonic pairing. I like that. I think that's a great thing Cisco it has. I think it's a great thing that Cisco has one up on Microsoft as far as room systems and things like that. Control because usually at your PC, you don't go to a kiosk or WebEx board. It's kind of hard, intimidating, But if you're at your PC and you start a meeting and you can search for a device, and the room device just automatically pops up here, and you say, "Oh yeah, I want to start there," and then the meeting, the video conference actually starts on the room system. That's nice. I like that. Okay, so we're going to join here again. I don't have the automatic mute when I come in. I think that's a feature that's lacking that Cisco WebEx Teams should really have in there. You see, I don't have audio here. I think it's having some trouble with my audio on the virtual machine. No worries. Um, okay, so let's see how things are different here. So let's just go back over here. You can see we have differences in display. Okay, this display is much different than this display. Again, I don't like that. If I use one or the other, I'd really like it to be the same. I think it should be the same. I got this thing down here. Okay, that brings up all of what my activity menu would bring up over here. Okay, again, Cisco, if you're watching this is a no-no. You need to have feature parity. You need to put buttons, whether they're in the web app or in the full client, they need to be the same. So Microsoft got it right here, most definitely. Now we do have the same buttons down here, so that's nice. So either way we use those, we can we can see that these buttons are the same. So that's good. And then we have our dial pad, move call if we want to move call, start recording, things like that. Let's go over to the full desktop. We have same thing here, start recording, add guest. There's a couple things missing here. Looks like they're not supported. That's all right. But the main things are here. If I want to share something, share my desktop or something like that. So that is the join meeting experience for Cisco WebEx Teams. One more time, let's go. Remember we did the messaging while in the meeting on the Microsoft side. Let's see if we can do that here. Okay, if we wanted to do something like that here, you know, it's not intuitive to me, but if you go over here, that's kind of nice. It kind of pops in there. I get video here. Okay, that should be that should be my picture in picture, but again, these are virtual machines, so don't be surprised things aren't working. And then let's see, can we have some dialogue here. Okay, let's hop over to Jessica. What does she see? Okay, I get no indicator that something's, I don't see anything that tells me that I have something going on or somebody's messaging in the room. Okay, now I can go over here. Let's see. No, it doesn't show me here, but of course, if I go here, yeah, there it is. I don't dig that. I think it should tell me that someone's messaging. If there's 10 people or something, you should get an indicator, whether it's on the web app or on the full client. So I do like that we still get video over here, and I got all my buttons, so that's nice. Over here on the full client, we have our other buttons here, and we can continue to have some dialogue here, back and forth. All right. So again, I don't want to go through too many features here. I'm just telling you or trying to convey the join experience. So that's it for this section. Okay, let's check out Webex Teams joining via a mobile app. Okay, this is what's interesting with Webex Teams. I really like this. What you're looking at is Anson. So the meeting, I dropped the meeting from Anson's desktop, and you're looking at the meeting join here. It's still going on because Jessica's still in, but I would get the regular join meeting here or start meeting. Okay, now to start the meeting, you can see down here, if you look down below, I'm connected to a room system. So I have it automatically connecting to a room system. So you can set this as you wish, but I'm in proximity of a room system. It's on the wall behind me. And what it's doing is sensing that, and then I can start that meeting from that wall system. So if I click start here, it tells me right there. So that's what I was talking about before. And it gives me a little display of that, or a little icon of that um, system as well. And if I don't want to, if I just want to do it from my phone, maybe I'm on the go or something like that, I can select right here. Very similar to the desktop I showed you and the web app as well. So Cisco got it right here, definitely. And they definitely excel in the endpoints in the room systems. This is something you won't find in Microsoft. Okay, let's just do it from the iPhone and see what that looks like, and we'll come back and do it the other way. All right, so this is nice. Say okay there. Let me do that again. I'm going to select iPhone. So I can start with video or I could start with audio. So that's nice. Maybe I don't want to do video. I'm on the go. Just want to start with audio. So definitely good there. Let's go ahead and start with video. And yeah, fresh install. So it's going to ask me these things. And there we go. And you can see it looks very similar to the desktop client. So really good there. Started with video so you can see my, and I'm getting some feedback there. Let me go ahead and mute that. Again, see that for a demo purposes anyway, it's really nice to just go in as muted. If Cisco could make that available, that would be great. Anyway, so we're waiting for others to join here. I'm going to go with this because I want you guys to see it. All right. This is how the meeting join is on a mobile app. Okay, and I'll punch around these buttons so you can see here. So all those things that we kind of got, we have so much more real estate in the desktop app, and so you have to do something different here in the mobile app. And Cisco definitely had to do that because you can't do everything on the mobile real estate. So show roster list, we can do that. You can see who's in the meeting, who's not in the meeting. We can close there, upper left, and we have other things there. Invite guests, start recording. That's nice. You can start recording from here. Show keyboard. Switch to audio, move call. That's nice if you want to move the call. I showed you that on the desktop, but let me show you what it actually does here. You can move the call to the room system. So if you come within proximity of the room system, you can move the call right to the room system. Very nice. I mean, 10 out of 10 here for Cisco. And what else do we have there? Audio settings, swap cameras, that's nice, and screen sharing tutorial. Okay, so I won't do any of those things. Maybe that'll be another video. I can show you some of these things here. But that's it. That's the join on a mobile device.